Hola clase, buenos días y feliz miércoles. Hoy es miércoles de música, es el 26 de agosto de 2020. Hoy vamos a escuchar una canción en español y contestar preguntas personales para el primer cuento de la unidad 1, las familias y comunidades, en Google Form. Para empezar, la canción de la semana se llama El Perdedor. Es de Enrique Iglesias y otro hombre cantante se llama Marco Antonio Solís. Espero que disfruten la canción. El perdedor es del verbo perder. ¿Qué significa perder? Perder significa to lose. Entonces, el perdedor, this ending here, this suffix dor often refers to a person, so the loser. Perder means to lose. El perdedor is the loser. Pueden escuchar la canción y ver el video. Pero vamos a continuar a la unidad 1 de las familias y las comunidades. Hoy ustedes van a contestar las preguntas personales en Google Form en la parte de Classwork en Google Classroom. Entonces, si vamos a Classwork aquí, pueden ver esta tarea. Entonces, su tarea es contestar las preguntas personales para empezar un cuento nuevo que se llama Ladrillo a Ladrillo. Ladrillo a ladrillo significa brick by brick. And you shall see why after we start reading it mañana. Pero las preguntas que vamos a contestar hoy son las preguntas en la página 1 hasta 5. Entonces aquí en el texto digital, en la unidad 1, el cuento ladrillo a ladrillo, preguntas personales. Entonces, la primera pregunta personal. Describe a una persona que haya provocado un cambio positivo en tu vida y explica cómo te cambió la vida. Describe a person that has provoked or has sparked, has encouraged a positive change in your life and explain how it changed your life or how he or she changed your life. Or change, it looks like it says changed you the life. That means changed your life. So that is your first question. Oops. I can't access my own quiz. But no, es una prueba. It's not like a quiz. It's just I'm making it for some points just to complete it and make sure that we're putting in the time and effort to write in our own Spanish. So here's that first question. Describe a una persona que haya provocado bla, bla, bla. Y si vayamos a next page. ¿Cuáles son los derechos que se merecen todos? ¿La educación es un derecho o un privilegio? ¿Y cómo sería tu vida hoy si no asistieras a la escuela? So what are the rights that everyone deserves? So like, en general, como basic human rights. La educación es un derecho o un privilegio. Is education a right or a privilege? And we kind of visited that yesterday. And how would your life be today if you wouldn't have attended school? So this is a complex couple different verb tenses here. Sería, would be. That's the conditional. How would your life be if you, we could also translate this as if you were to not have or if you were to not have gone to school, if you were not to have gone to school, something like that. You got to hear a little bit of your canción in the background. But this technically is the imperfect subjunctive. You probably dealt with this a little bit last year with Mrs. Washburn. Like, what would you do if you could, or if you had so many dollars? Like, ¿qué harías si tuvieras $1,000? Something like that. So don't focus too much on the grammar, just really focus on what's the question asking and how can you answer it in a way that makes sense to you without using a translator. Next question, because there's the derechos, educación, perdón. And pregunta 3, ¿existe el trabajo infantil? Existe el trabajo infantil. Infantil comes from the word like infant. So infantil, we could say child labor, like infant labor, or work en nuestra comunidad, en nuestro país. ¿Dónde? ¿Qué causa el trabajo infantil? ¿Y qué se puede hacer para evitarlo? So does child labor exist in our community or in our country, país? Where? What causes child labor? And what can be done in order to avoid it? Evitar means to avoid. So what can be done to avoid child labor? La próxima pregunta. ¿Qué quieres que digan tus amigos y tu familia en tu funeral cuando hablen de ti? Es la próxima pregunta aquí. So, what do you want that your friends and your family say? In English, we would really say, what do you want them to say? But this is the subjunctive because we're saying, what do you want that they say? So this is expressing a desire followed by K. And then that is where we go to the yo, drop the O, add the E or A. Hey, I don't know if Mrs. Washburn taught you guys that. But anytime you're expressing a want, a hope, a wish, a desire, in Spanish we use what's called the subjunctive mood. And that's what this verb mood or tense is right here. So don't focus too much on that. Just know what it means and do your best to communicate your response as to how you would answer. What do you want your friends and family to say at your funeral when they talk about you? And so you might be wondering where all these questions are stemming from. They're all stemming from this story that we're going to be reading tomorrow, and they all deal with the theme of the story, and obviously familias y comunidades también. Y la última pregunta es, son, ¿qué has hecho para mejorar la vida de alguien menos afortunado? ¿Y qué podrías hacer para mejorar la vida de alguien menos afortunado? So what have you done? So this is the present perfect tense. What have you done in order to improve the life of someone less fortunate? Careful here with how you're going to answer this. You're going to change this to A, H, the letters H-E. Yo he hecho, I have done something, or yo he ayudado, or yo he any verb ending in ado or ito usually, unless it's irregular, like hecho. And what could you do, or what would you be able to do in order to improve? Mejor is best or better, so mejorar as a verb is to better the life or to improve the life of someone less fortunate. Y es la última pregunta aquí. Y eso es todo para hoy. That is all that we are doing for today is this Google form with these questions. But notice the explanation, your instructions, porque son muy importantes. Contesta las preguntas de las páginas 1 a 5 del texto digital en forma de párrafo. Pardon my lack of correct grammar here with my accents and missing tilde, as Google Form does not have those options for me. I could have copied and pasted it though. So for each of these questions, it says forma de párrafo para cada respuesta. So for each of the responses that you are putting in for each of these 5 questions, you need to have approximately 5 sentences in each answer. Not 1 sentence per question, which equals a total of 5 sentences. I'm talking 5 sentences for this one, 5 sentences for your answer to the second one. And that is just a minimum. And again, I mentioned yesterday, if you have some compound sentences or some longer sentences and you really only have 4, well, you're usually going to be okay then. But you're only going to get better at your Spanish if you push yourself instead of just doing the bare minimum. And I know many of you are hoping to take the AP exam and get a passing score in order to get college credits so that you don't have to take out extra loans or your parents pay even more than necessary, extra thousands of dollars. So just keep that in mind when you're answering questions and following guidelines. And another thing here, puedes usar word reference. So you may use word reference if you have not looked at that yet. If you're in English and you forgot how to say something like friendly, type that in. It's from English to Spanish. And I actually looked this up the other night because I knew there were a few different ways to say it that were similar. So it tells you that warm or empathetic or kind as an adjective. They give you some different ways to say it and examples. So that's why I like word reference. But you may not use any other type of translator ever. I've already seen people try to do it with even just like asking their classmates questions on the flip grid. Like, I don't know why we want to spend time going to a translator and typing stuff in when we could just practice our own Spanish and not use a translator. But just do your work. Do your own work, y'all. It's not rocket science. I'm not taking points off if your Spanish is horrible. I'd rather know that it's your Spanish and not a translator's. So please do your own work. And so, again, a friendly reminder or warning. I need your length to be at least 5 sentences for each answer. And don't use Google Translate or other translators. Muchas gracias. Here's a quick review as to how to get logged into your textbook through Voces Digital. Clicking on login, but I'm already logged in, so that's not going to work. But let me know if you can't get in. You should have already done that. Y eso es todo. Feel free to, if you want to read ahead at what's to come with the story. You may, or listen to it. It's a little tearjerker, I'll tell you. Es muy dulce, un cuento muy dulce. Espero que disfruten la canción y terminen las preguntas antes de la medianoche. Hasta mañana.